and there's Gomeh, who is just irate that his wish didn't go according to plan. He got him back in the kids, but not exactly what he's looking for. And Dagetsu gets up with the plan and let's go ahead and kidnap Dende. We get our first look at Kid Mr. Popo. So that's what's been under that turban all this time, horns. And it's like, man, Mr. Popo could be a deadly force with that. And you got Dende sleeping there because he's a baby, and he's just ecstatic and everything. And right here, man, you get Dagetsu. He just takes Dende out of Mr. Popo's hand and then shoves Mr. Popo down. Like I said, if you follow Team 4-Star, Mr. Popo's made out in that series to be the god among gods, but here they treat him like Dagetsu's treating him like a wimp. And you see, there's Dende. That's how happy he is to be getting kidnapped because he's been reduced to a baby. And then they take off to the demon realm. But what's interesting about this, and we see this in the series, or in this shot particular with Son Goten and Trunks, is that mentally they are still their current age, and they are able to realize that their bodies have been reduced to babies, but they have no control. Instead, their bodies is reacting on its own like babies, and I just didn't quite understand that. I would expect that if they are aware of who they are mentally, that they would try to walk and run, but they just can't because the baby bodies that they have now won't allow them. So, but instead, it's like their body is reacting on its own as a baby, and mentally, their body's doing what they don't want them to do. So, like, man, that's pretty crazy. We get Goku and Vegeta just trying to figure out, and we see, just as the wish said, Gomeh asked that all their friends and family of Son Goku be turned back into kids and babies. So we see the workers here that work for Bulma. They're not at all, basically, they're just shocked here, but they're all still in their adult form. So there you go. And then I love it. You have Mark Satan, aka Mr. Satan, basically as a kid, just hilarious. Fat Boo is a kid. I'm like, I'm not sure how that works. I don't, because Fat Boo, isn't he a fusion of the kaioshin, aka the ultimate supreme kai? He never even was a baby. He was a fusion of them. So how he got reduced to a kid, I don't know. I don't understand how that's working, but it's cool to see Fat Boo as a kid, but he always act like a kid anyway. So there you go. What I did really love here, though, is you have Bulma, aka Boma, and she is basically just loving what she sees in the mirror because, of course, she's trying to, as she gets to her middle age, she's trying to look younger and younger, and of course here she looks too young, but Chi-Chi is actually happy about how young she looks now. So they are completely neglecting the fact that they are now their bodies are now kids again for just how young they have gotten. So that was quite interesting. Man. And then I love it right here. Mark Satan, Mr. Satan, just basically walking, Vegeta and Piccolo like, we ain't got time for this fool, right? As he's saying he's gonna save everybody. I just love how delusional Mr. Satan is. Oh man. And we learned here that Goku, he tries to fly and he's going up there, but then he ends up crashing into the table. If you're a wrestling fan, by God, through the table, right? Get the Dudleys, called Devon, get the tables, right? Sorry, I'm a wrestling fan, so of course I gotta make my WWE and professional wrestling references. And Goku gets all this hot whatever soup was on him. So we get to see Muten Roshi, aka Master Roshi, as a kid here, and he's letting Son Goku know that basically he cannot fly because his body is not used to it. He's so used to flying in his adult body, so he's kind of got to learn how to retrain himself here. And I can't be the only one that thinks about this. Anybody else out there watch the show or anime or read the manga One Punch Man? Tell me, you can't tell me in this frame Muten Roshi does not look like a kid version of Saitama. Like, I just see nothing but Saitama, One Punch Man right there. And of course, Roshi, he feeling, just like Boma, he's glad to be young again. So, he's up here trying to hit on the women, and it's like, boy, no, they didn't want anything to do with you when you were an old geezer, and they sure as heck don't want anything to do with you now that you're a kid. And we start getting the idea that they're gonna go to Kami's lookout basically here to see what the heck is going on. And Mr. Popo, of course, he explains to everyone about Degesu, and here the East Kaioshin is realizing, holy crap, my brother is here, and he's basically trying to go ahead and take control, or do something, 'cause he's up to no good. And interesting lore, and that's one thing I'm really loving about Dragon Ball Daima, is that we're getting lore. So we see that Piccolo basically knows about the demon realm, and he knows about Neva, the Namekian that went there. So this was really cool. And I love that the series rewards you for being longtime fans, because if you obviously grew up with Dragon Ball Z, this was taken straight out of when Cell came to the present timeline and just left the Trunks' spaceship there where it got moss all over it. So Kibito from the land of the Kais in Kaioshins, he brings this machine back, which is all rusted and mossed over, and the East Kaioshin can't work with it at all. And Goku, he's trying to fly over this thing, and he can't go, and he ends up falling and barely hanging on to the side of the Kami's lookout. And Piccolo, he comes over here acting all tough, like, you're pathetic. And then Goku's like, well, why don't you go ahead and give it a try? And Piccolo just flies, and then he loses his balance, and boom, right into the side of that tree. And Goku's looking at him like, yeah, talking all that stuff. Piccolo right there messed himself up, bleeding and all that stuff. So, before you want to start schooling somebody, maybe you should make sure first you know how to do it, right? And then, of course, they end up bringing Bulma and Vegeta to look out. And Vegeta, I thought, had an awesome line here. He's like, he's gonna make them pay for who turned them into these brats. Make them pay for who turned them back into these brats. So I love it. I can't wait to hear what Chris Savage's gonna sound like in the English dub. And then you have Bulma, who's just tremendously smart, one of the smartest characters in the entire franchise from a technical standpoint. She's already figuring out how to make this machine, this ship work and everything. And oh man, this was some more great art. They explain here, I think it was Kibito or the East Kaioshin, they explain here that Goku basically and Kid Buu, their battle, because it destroyed so much of the world of the Kaioshin, it ended up also destroying their that ship, or at least making it not work. And man, my all-time favorite fight in Dragon Ball Z is Super Saiyajin 3 Son Goku versus Kid Buu. Love this fight. It is my favorite fight in all of Dragon Ball Z. Man, and seeing them give this fight justice is fantastic. Like, even that shot right there, SS3 Goku looking awesome. My favorite form of Majin Buu, my favorite fight in Z. Like, this is fantastic. Let's go. Oh man, and just look at that Kamehameha. That's when he hit the super Kamehameha on Kid Buu. And I even love they show some love to when SS2 Vegeta. I'm glad they put the electricity in there to state that, yeah, this is Vegeta at SS2 fighting Kid Buu and the explosions. Just fantastic stuff. And Bulma figuring out how to work this, because she explains that it was going to take her about 10 days, but we get to where it takes about 2 days for her to get a little bit further, and they even build this place up on the lookout, and you see Goku training there. Phenomenal backgrounds. These backgrounds just look so epic, man, so epic. And you see Bulma working right there, and we learn that Goku's trying to learn how to close the distance now more, because he's got to fight in this short stature until they get back to normal. We get a look at Korn. Funny enough, I didn't really think Korn looked all that different. He was already short to begin with. So there's the Neo Ball, and that's of course how he got from Korn's tower up to the Kami's lookout. And it turns out that Korn ends up saying that Kami Sine, is it right? Kami Sine. Oh my gosh, Mutin Roshi, Master Roshi has it. And look at Roshi is a fool. Roshi is a straight fool. Just he's like, I'm young again. He's like, I'm about to pick up the girls and stuff. And it's like, no, you're a kid. You ain't picking up anything. And there you go, Turles, Turtle. I don't know if he aged, because obviously He's like 1,000 years old, so I don't know if he would have really aged that much, or I guess he is a little bit shorter. So yeah, that was interesting. And it turns out that Muden Roshi, being the fool that he is, he's using the Niobo as basically somewhere to put his laundry out, hang his tank top and his underwear. Like, wow, this is something that is holy and sacred, and this is what you use it for. Okay.